Yo, 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 welcome to the EJ and J podcast. We got a special guest today that we're going to bring along to over some anime. His name is Riley, close friend of Jay's, a good friend of mine. But welcome to the podcast, the E and J podcast. You already know it's part of the SHU Program, giving y'all what y'all want. We got a couple of things that we want to go over today, some big things that have happened recently. And we also have an anime section where we'll go over some new anime that you guys can check out. So we're going to jump into it. The first things first, Mortal Kombat. The trailer dropped about a week and a half ago for the movie, which will be on HBO Max. I believe it's April 16th, HBO Max. And looks like the Red Band trailer has now broken record viewership, and it is now the most viewed Red Band trailer of all time. Myself, I thought the Red Band trailer was amazing. Jay and Riley, what y'all think?
First off, you know I loved it. Oh my God, it was great. It was great.
I thought it was fanfare. I didn't believe it was real.
It was blasphemy.
I still don't understand that.
Oh man, it was great, man. It was just first of all, I've been anticipating that trailer for a long time. A lot of MK fans were kind of curious on how this movie was going to come out, and there was, as you guys know, there was multiple attempts to do a film before this one. They even tried to do a third film of the Paul S. Anderson films, but that one got canceled, and they tried to do a web series, and that didn't fall through. So we finally got this one, and it looks great. It did not disappoint. Of course, I have my questions and my theories, but overall, I'm excited.
Riley, what'd you think, man, when you actually figured out it was a real trailer?
I had to look more into it because I had to realize that it's actually real. But man, I just can't believe they even put "come over here." Oh, it's just the nostalgia. It was like,
Well, my favorite character of the series of all time, for the audience, for y'all to know, is Sub-Zero is definitely my favorite character ever. Close second would be Liu Kang, but I've always had this thing about Sub-Zero being badass, even when he was the bad version of Sub-Zero, Bihan, before it switched over to his younger brother. But yeah, Sub-Zero has always been my dude. So to see the trailer started off like that, and then they, kind of changed up the lore a little bit and showed that Sub-Zero was the one who actually broke Jax's arms off, and the whole scene with
that was amazing. Whenever that happened, I'm like, oh, that's such a good story pivot there.
Exactly. Like, so they already had me. They had me from the first 5 seconds of the thing. So when he frees the bullet coming out, it reminded me of in the original Mortal Kombat movie when they were under the boat and Shang Tsung brings out Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and he puts his hand on the gun and he freezes the gun. So it kind of reminded me of that, kind of like Riley said, a little nostalgia, a little bit, with something different and being a new character and bringing Jackson to the fold so early. And I'm ready for it. And then Jay already know, we talked about this outside the podcast. It looks like the fatality that Liu Kang had was with the dragon.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
That looked fire. They got that in there, like that's what like the well, I wouldn't say the animality. Is it the animality or that was just regular? Was that a Mortal Kombat one?
That was no, that's usually the fatality, but the animality was when he actually introduced in Mortal Kombat 4 where he actually changed into the dragon, and they did that in MK2 and it was terrible, but this one looks like you said, this one looks like it's gonna be a straight up fatality, and if you play like the recent games, you see it in his fatalities too. Like he summons a big dragon and it'll come and like eat the person up and stuff.
Yep. I think if you're correct, it was in Mortal Kombat 1 or 2. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Like you said with Jax, first off, that was a good idea. Whoever edited that and did the trailer editing for that, to put that scene where Sub-Zero breaks Jax's arms off, because that kind of set the tone for the rest of the trailer. So
Yep.
Yes, and it let everybody know, all right, we not playing, we coming to show you guys some rated R stuff, and I like that. And I'm a big, like you said, you're a big Sub-Zero fan. I'm a big Liu Kang fan. I always play with Liu Kang. You know, he has he's a Bruce Lee archetype, and that's my boy. That's my number one go-to player in MK. I mastered all his moves. So just to see, like you said, that dragon move and him do that in the movie, it shows that they're gonna add some care to the character and they're gonna do him justice. But I am a little bit worried because in the trailer we find out that there's a new character that's introduced into the universe now, and we all know that Liu Kang, for the most part, like Tekken, like Street Fighter has Ryu, Tekken has Jin, Mortal Kombat you have Liu Kang as the main the chosen one, or the central character, or the main guy, and that's Liu Kang to Mortal Kombat. And I know the last few games they kind of put Liu Kang in the background a little bit and kind of focused on Scorpion and Sub-Zero, but Liu Kang has always been the central character, and it don't look like he's gonna be the central character in this one.
So they have that new character, whoever it is that supposed to be like Johnny, but they just renamed him? Because I didn't see anything about Johnny in the trailer.
Well,
I didn't see anything about Johnny or Katana. Didn't see either one of them in the trailer.
There too. There was in one shot though, you did see fans that resemble Katana fans. Yes. I have been following one of the producers. I believe his name is Todd Gardner. I may be having that wrong, but one of the producers, he has been really like engaging with the fans and their questions, and everyone brings up, okay, I know this guy I know they just didn't bring there's some random dude to the mythos, and there's 70 something Mortal Kombat characters, and you guys decide to add a new one. And he's like, you got to watch the film to see. So I think there's more to him. The character's name is Cole Young, and I think there's more to him than meets the eye, and we're not really going to find out until we actually see the movie. But
wait, his name is Cole Young, so we're getting the Cole Train back.
Cole Train.
You talking about Gears?
That was a Gears joke. That was a Gears joke.
Two different games. I know. But the Johnny Cage thing, man. Everybody's been saying, "Where's Johnny Cage? Where's Johnny Cage?" Because we all know Johnny Cage is like the comic relief, of the Mortal Kombat stories, and to have him not be there is kind of crazy. And I know they in the Mortal Kombat 2 Annihilation, they killed Jax within like the first few minutes of the film, but they were doing that. They killed Johnny, yeah. But they were making room for Jax, and Jax became like the new comic relief in that movie or whatever. But you were still
talking about somebody that was hot when I was in the movie there, and I was a kid, and they killed Johnny in the first 3 minutes. Nigga, I was hot, super hot. I love Johnny Cage, but go ahead.
No, bro. I feel your pain. Because Johnny Cage is like one of my favorite characters too, and just like he just his comedy and I think one of the interesting things about Johnny Cage was that, like, even though he was arrogant and he was an actor, he was still good. He was a good fighter. Like the skills were there, and I thought that's what made him interesting. Like, he wasn't a fake. Like, he could really fight. So I thought that was always an interesting aspect about him. Like, he was a fighter that could back it up. And
right.
And a lot of
people, it's just the white Jackie Chan.
I don't know if I would say the white Jackie Chan.
He's more like a Jean-Claude Van Damme or a someone like that, like
right.
Better Steven, something like that. Yeah,
right. And so the producer did say, he said, even though he said everyone has been questioning whether Johnny Cage is in the film or he's been replaced, he said Johnny Cage has not been replaced. You need to watch the movie.
Wow.
So
this is why we have you around, Jay. You fact check everything.
Well, I don't fact check everything. This is Mortal Kombat. This is something that's dear to my heart. So I'm following along. So
I will say though that I can see them setting up certain characters for another one, because if you think about it, Katana is stepdaughter of
Shao
Kahn, and so if he's not in the first movie, and they showed that statue of him in the trailer, I could see them setting it up to introduce her in the second one, and maybe Johnny doesn't come around to the very end of this movie, and then he's like a main antagonist in the second movie. So honestly, I could see that happening, because it would be weird if Johnny was a main character in this movie and they didn't show him in the trailer at all.
Right.
That would be kind of different. So I'm hoping that they either have a nod to him or they show him like maybe like the fourth act of the movie or whatever. So we'll see.
I like that idea.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. I think a lot of people are theorizing that too, because this movie has a low budget. It's not actually a big budget. So I think what they're trying to do is, well, a lot of people have been theorizing is, okay, if this movie does really well, then they could probably get a big actor to play Johnny Cage, which I think would be great.
Right.
Because I think that would fit. It would fit specifically Johnny Cage, and anybody else you really couldn't do it with, because people have been saying get Ryan Reynolds.
We're gonna put Ryan Reynolds in every funny white character ever.
I mean,
it would be the perfect casting.
It would be the perfect casting. I don't see them really getting Ryan Reynolds though, but it would. If this movie does good, I could truly see it attracting more people and a bigger budget, and we can hopefully see Johnny Cage.
See, what they got to do though is they have Johnny Cage on the back of the Deadpool suit, and he's just pointing at it.
Right.
Oh man.
We'll see though.
But before we move on, I must say another great noteworthy moment in the trailer was close to the end, where Sub-Zero is beating Scorpion's ass and he's punching him, and the blood flies into the air, and he freezes the blood. He sticks it in Scorpion's neck. He makes the ice wall behind him, and he throws him through the ice wall. That shit got me right there, and I was like, in the trailer, I don't gotta see no more. I don't care what else ever happened in the movie. As long as I see that scene, I am good.
Right. Bro, no. Oh my God. They had me when the blood came out, and he took the water out the blood and made a dagger.
Exactly. Man. I was
that part was so great.
Right. And having Scorpion say his line, it was, oh my God, it was just cherry. And I know people were actually complaining about it, because they was like, oh, you should have had the because Ed Boon, the creator of Mortal Kombat, he actually did all the voices and all the lines for the original Mortal Kombat. So all the gibberish that you hear them speak and stuff like that, he did all of that. And he also did Get Over Here, like Scorpion's iconic line. That's Ed Boon. And they were saying, oh man, you gotta have Ed Boon say the line, because it just doesn't sound right with the actual guy in this movie saying it. And I'm like, I don't care about that, because to me, you finally got a Japanese guy actually playing Scorpion, and we actually getting to see an authentic adaptation of the character. Because the other Scorpions, they were just like some plain white guy, stunt guy in the Scorpion suit, and
right.
So we're actually getting to see this actor become Scorpion and do his interpretation of it. So
in his accent.
In his accent, exactly. So if he was real, that's how I would picture him actually sounding.
I agree.
And I do want to touch on this before we move on. So the whole theory on who Cole Young is, you see throughout the trailer multiple times that he has this dragon tattoo, and it's apparently some kind of invitation to the tournament. And apparently some of the fighters also have the tattoos, which depicts them as being chosen. And
right.
And he's a new character and everything. And I know everyone's trying to theorize whether he's really Johnny Cage, whether he's I've heard theories on whether he's Sub-Zero's little brother, because his name is Cole Young, and the current Sub-Zero, the younger brother behind his name is Kwai Lang, and Cole Young, Kwai Lang, they kind of trying to put the little pieces together and see if that's it.
Yep.
And because in the movie we find out through some of the descriptions that Sub-Zero is actually hunting Cole Young. So that's a thing to follow. But we also see in the trailer at one point that he's like, Cole Young is like looking in the mirror, and he sees like a vision of Scorpion. And that gets me, and I know me and EJ talked about it, and I don't know if you picked up on this either, Riley, but we were trying to kind of figure out who Cole Young could be, and I told EJ I think he's possibly he's probably going to be the new Scorpion. That's kind of look like how they're trying to set it up in a way, like he's possibly maybe a descendant of the Shira clan, and he's getting his visions because the actor who's playing Scorpion, he's older. He's an older actor. He had to be in his 50s, I think. So
not older.
Huh?
Right.
Right. So it would make sense to probably get a younger actor at some point, even though I wouldn't mind seeing him continue the role and they just figure it out through that. But if it could be a reason why they're bringing in this whole new character to possibly take his place. But at times in the trailer, we see that Cole has some kind of armor plating on him. There's a big reveal where we actually see Goro. And Goro pops up, and it looks like he's engaging in a fight with Cole Young. And in that one shot, you see Cole Young with some kind of armor plating on him. And I don't know what y'all think about that.
I think it would be a good way to introduce the young Scorpion, like you said, because the only critique I have, and it's not even really a critique, but I noticed it from the beginning, was like you just said, the actor who's playing Scorpion, although he's a great actor because I've seen him in other movies before and he's always good, I thought he was a little old to be playing Scorpion, considering the fact that my boy who's playing Sub-Zero, he's like in his late 30s, so he's not that old at all. Like,
right.
And I was like, the age difference between them, that doesn't really add up, and such and such. But if Cole Young is set up to take his place, or maybe be like a reincarnated version of him or something like that, then I could see that being a way to introduce a younger Scorpion and add to the storyline also. So,
right. And
if that is the case, then yeah, it'll be good.
And the actor that's playing Scorpion, Hiroyuki Sanada, he's 60.
60, right?
So
yep.
Yeah.
So we're talking about who Cole could basically be, right?
Right.
And
yeah,
it's always had these crossovers. What if it's Cyborg?
You said what was who?
Cyborg. That's not happening.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, this is a reboot of the series, so I doubt they're doing any DC versus Mortal Kombat. Especially after the whole stuff with the real Justice League movie and Cyborg. That's not happening for sure.
If you're trying to say like Sector or Cyrax, something like that, then that might be more realistic. But Cyborg, yeah, I don't know.
I know, I'm just kidding. Just because of the name Cole.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's definitely an age difference because the actor who's playing Sub-Zero, my boy from the Raid, Joe Taslim, he's 39. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there's a big age difference.
And Cole is how old, y'all said?
Louis Tan, he's 34, so he's really young.
Okay, so he's 34. Who's the 60-year-old y'all were talking about?
Scorpion.
Yeah, you just said his name though, but you said he was 30-something.
No, he's talking about Sub-Zero. So Sub-Zero is
Sub-Zero's 30. Okay, that actually makes perfect sense because now Cole and Sub-Zero could be brothers, right?
Yeah. So Sub-Zero's in the guy. Louis Tan is Louis Tan is playing Cole, and Joe Taslim is playing Sub-Zero, and he's 40-something, right? You said
39. He'll be 40 this year, but I think he's 39 right now.
So yeah, that would make sense. Like, so if you're trying to say that, yeah, the age difference.
The age difference is closer.
Gotcha. So you thinking he could possibly be behind then?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have to see. After 16.
Yep, we will see. Let's move on to the next topic of discussion. Me and Jay did a podcast probably about 2 weeks ago on WandaVision when it first started, kind of doing a breakdown of, I believe it was the first 4 episodes at that time that had come out. And we here at the SHU Program, we are really interested and have been loving what's been going on with WandaVision. From the first episode all the way until now, the progression that they've made, the introduction of different characters. But today, specifically, we want to talk about episode 8, which was the one that just came out last Friday. And Riley, did you get a chance to watch it?
Not yet.
Oh, wow.
But it'd
Riley, you can't have a pocket. You didn't watch it?
Oh, man.
I actually didn't know it was out. I'd watched all the episodes probably that Thursday. I didn't know it came out Friday.
Well, what we're gonna do when we get to some spoilers, I'm gonna have you like mute your mic or mute the computer or something so you don't hear us.
Yeah.
But anyway, so as we all know from episode 6, 7, and 8 have all had like kind of at the very end a cliffhanger leading into the next episode. So episode 6, that was when I believe that was the Pietro episode, right? Jay?
I think 6 is where he came in. I think so.
Was six the one where he came in, or was that the one where at the very end he showed up?
6 is where they had the costumes on, I'm pretty sure, right?
Okay, so 5 is where he came in leading into 6. Okay, gotcha. At the end of 6, that was when Vision tried to escape.
Yes. And then 7 starts when we get the whole situation with 7.
Yeah, with the whole situation. Right. Okay. But yeah, leading into episode 8, at the end of 7, a major character is revealed. And that is Agatha Harkness, which Marvel fans know, which is great, super great. She's a witch, an old witch in the Marvel universe who actually at times has been very helpful and not so much of a villain. I remember from certain books that I've read growing up, in the Fantastic Four, she actually helped them out quite a bit. Whenever they had their 2 children who were overpowered at the time, she kind of like helped rein them in and get their powers under control. And she also helped Wanda in the comics for a bit with her children as well. But, spoilers for anybody who hasn't read the comics. She ends up telling Wanda, kind of after the House of M event, that her children aren't real. And basically she ends up hiding it from Wanda. She puts a spell on her and hides it from her to make her not remember her children. And then later on down the road in comics down the line, Wanda remembers her kids and finds out what Agatha does, and she kills them. So it's interesting to see how they brought her into WandaVision, because it seems like she's set up right now to be sort of a villain at the moment. And then yesterday or last Friday's episode kind of takes you through Wanda basically going back and seeing crucial parts in her life that led to where she is today. Now, the question I have for Jay is, and Riley, if you want to mute, you can mute at this moment.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll go ahead and deafen real fast.
All right. The question, Jay, that I have for you is, and I don't know if you caught this, you probably did, but are they trying to say that Wanda was a witch from the beginning?
Yes, they are. I think so.
Because when Agatha is taking her through the different scenes, if you remember the scene where the bomb comes in, Agatha goes up to her at the very end and she's like, so why didn't that bomb go off? And she was like, I don't know, it just didn't go off. And she was like, seems like that's, out of all the stuff that's going on around you, this one bomb is the one that didn't go off. She was like, so y'all were perfectly safe for 2 whole days. Everything around you has been chaos, and you and Pietro were fine. She was like, it seems like you might be a witch. So my whole thing was like, oh, so you're trying to tell me she was already a witch from birth?
It sounds like they are she was a mutant. I think
like she was a mutant. Exactly. Exactly.
Yes, and maybe the Infinity Stone has activated those genes. And as we know in the Marvel comics and in X-Men comics, we know that for some people, the X-Men gene or the X gene can sometimes be in slumber. It sometimes for some people it does not activate until something catastrophic or some kind of emotional thing happens, like you're going through puberty. That's why most of the mutants their X gene activates usually during puberty, because they're getting more emotional and stuff like that. So it's I see what they doing. I think we get our answers.
Man, so I'm telling you, they setting it up, and like a lot of people were saying, oh, this episode was just okay. But when I started seeing stuff like that, I was like, okay, this is like a setup episode for the main one, for the last episode. So they went through that whole thing. Basically told us from the beginning, let's just be real, she was a mutant. She already had the powers as a kid. Then she gets older and she ends up going into that program to they told her that she was going to be trying to save the world, but they were doing experiments on people with the Infinity Stone, and I'm pretty sure that Infinity Stone just brought out like you said, the dormant powers that were already inside of her.
Right.
So she ends up getting her powers reawoken, or basically brought out for the first time from the Infinity Stone. And the little time, like the whole 2 minutes, is missing on the camera when they're trying to go back and see actually what happened. So I was really into episode 8, and I love the way that they were setting up everything and showing kind of like basically like they said at the end, she's basically becoming the Scarlet Witch. So what did you think about how they set up everything, and what are you looking forward to or think is going to happen in episode 9?
First of all, here's what I'll say. That was one of my, well, not my least favorite episode, but I wasn't a huge fan of the episode only because I wanted it to continue. I was like, no, this is not what you're doing. I gotta wait a whole week. No, man, it's crazy. But no, man, it was very interesting getting to see Wanda's her backstory for the first time, really. Besides what we got from Age of Ultron, and a little bit that we're told from that point, but it was very interesting to see that. I will say it doesn't look like we're going to get like a Magneto, come out the, oh, Magneto's really your father. It doesn't look like we're going to get that. So I don't know. I don't when the X-Men do come over, and however we find out they do, I don't know if they're going to connect that somehow, unless we get like some kind of Batman Beyond twist where, we needed. You're actually we actually adopted you, and I could something like that.
Right, exactly. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So, but I like where it's going. I like who's the actress that plays Agatha? What's her name?
She's really good, man. She was in this movie I watched by one of my favorite directors, who's controversial. He did Signs and M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night. Catherine
She was
Hahn.
in this movie she was in this movie that he did. I don't know if you watched it or not, Jay. I'm trying to think of the name of it right now, but it was when she sent her 2 kids to visit their grandparents. Mm-hmm. And when they get to visit their grandparents, they're experiencing all this weird stuff with their grandparents, and then come to find out at the very end of the movie, those weren't their grandparents.
Right.
Like they killed them. Yeah. So she was like the mom in that movie. She's a good actress. So
yeah, she was. I do remember her now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's so good in this role. I want to choke her to death. Because she was peeing me off the whole time, man. She was peeing me off the whole time. She's really good. Kudos to Catherine Hahn. Marvel did really good with choosing her, but she's a very convincing Agatha Harkness. And here's one thing that I'm curious about going into the next episode is, so we found out, okay, so 2 things. Like you said in the comics, her children weren't real, right? And Scarlet Witch eventually kills her after that revelation comes out. My question is, are the 2 children, Wiccan and the other kid, the other speedster, are they real, or did Wanda really create them, or did Agatha have something to do with that? And because the reason why I really want to know that answer to that question is because we find out later in the episode that the agents of S.H.U.R. are working on a new version of Vision. And
I was on. Yep.
Yeah, and so now we have this new Vision, and we also find out in this episode that, because at first, remember when we were watching the previous episodes, they were making it seem as if Wanda had took all of Vision's parts after she found them out at found them at the Sword base and saw what they were doing to him. But then that was a lie. Yeah, that was a lie. That was a I can't think of the name for a twist or whatever.
Yeah.
We find out that she straight up creates them.
Right.
I thought that was crazy. Yes.
Well, yeah, which is crazy. So she calls her at the end of the show. She calls Wanda a Nexus being, and for everyone listening, Nexus beings in the Marvel Universe are characters who have the ability to basically create anything that they want to from matter all over the universe. Like they can create stuff and change reality. And there's only a few of those in the Marvel universe that we know of.
Right.
So if Wanda is that, then she's one of the more powerful characters in the MCU,
Right.
which, a lot of the X-Men tend to be, or some of the big ones tend to be. So that's gonna be cool if they dive deeper into that. Like you just mentioned, the new version of Vision is called White Vision. And earlier during like a couple episodes ago, they had this thing where they showed like a project name that old boy was working on, and it was called Project Cataract, which is basically cataracts destroy vision. So
right. Wow. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, that was a cool little code name that they had, for Vision in the project. But for those who don't know who White Vision is, White Vision basically, the first time we ever see him was in a comic called West Coast Avengers. And in that comic, the real Vision gets stolen by some people, and he's reprogrammed and basically turned bad for a little bit and then turned into White Vision. And when they try to go rescue Vision, he goes on a rampage and kills like a bunch of people and does some crazy stuff. They end up reeling him in and bringing him back, and they end up salvaging him, and he ends up turning almost to his normal self. But the thing is, he loses his connection to people, so he doesn't remember who Wanda is, and he's cold like he was when they first found him in Age of Ultron. So basically, he doesn't really know like what's going on. He's just almost robotic like, and he loses all his human emotions. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do here, if Wanda keeps the vision that she made, or if something happens where she loses all that and then they end up having to take the White Vision and turn him back into regular Vision again. So it's a lot of stuff that needs to be answered in an hour, bro, on Friday.
That's true.
So,
that is true.
I just don't want them to leave us with a stupid cliffhanger going into like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because I'm like, that has nothing to do with this. So just give me some answers, or at least give me some answers and then lead me into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. At least do that.
Right. It's a lot of answers. That's because I know we do see Monica Rambeau and Quicksilver look like they're about to go in the basement at one point in one of the trailers, and
yeah.
So we know at some point they interact. So I'm curious if Pietro is even real or why he's really there now, and if he's a creation of Agatha, or did Wanda actually create him? So there's a lot of questions, like you said, that definitely got to be answered. And at least we know, however this ends, at least we know that Vision is gonna come back somehow, because they made that body, and that's we already know how it's gonna end. Vision's gonna get a new body and he'll be back. So that's good.
Exactly. That's what they're bringing back. I will say this: the only thing I had to look up this week, I looked up the same thing you were talking about. Is Pietro really the Pietro from the Fox universe? Because at first I was doing a whole speculation. Oh, this is the way they're bringing him in, and she brought him from the multiverse and all that. So apparently, it looks like right at this moment, leading into episode 9, that he's not the Pietro from the Fox universe. That he's just someone who's in the Marvel universe that Agatha took control of and set up to be her brother in the town or whatever. But as I said, there is a possibility that something happened to where Agatha tapped into some kind of power and brought him over when she didn't know, or maybe Wanda had a hand in it and she ended up bringing him over from a different universe. So
let me say
we'll see.
If that's true, Marvel, come on, bro.
You can't set us up just to let us down like that. You know what I'm talking about? So.
That's Orion Johnson right there.
Yeah, exactly. Don't waste good characters and just try to tell a story. Just tell the story that we all want to hear.
Divert all expectations. That's what they're doing.
Exactly. So I end up thinking he's gonna still be the Pietro from the Fox universe. You can't do that and not expect the whole world to assume that that's who that is.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, we'll see. We will see. Let me get Riley back in here real quick. Hold up.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, sir. All right, Riley. Sorry we had to put you on a little elevator music hold for a minute.
Nah, that's cool.
But we have finished talking about it, and we are about to hop into our next topic. I'm gonna let Jay take the lead on this one, but basically, a Superman reboot has been established over at Warner Brothers. It's gonna be pretty much written by Ta-Nehisi Coates and directed by J.J. Abrams, who's also producing it. So Jay, take us away on that one, man. Just let us know a little bit about that.
Now, is his name pronounced Ta-Nehisi Coates? Is that the correct pronunciation? Because I've always said Ta-Nehisi. I've always said that.
I'm gonna be real. You are probably 100% correct. I don't know how to say his name. I've just looked at videos of him online, but you are probably right. That is his name. I apologize. Jay, go ahead.
I just wanted to make sure because I could be wrong, but
No, I think I'm 100% wrong. So go. Yeah. So go ahead.
But yeah, we found out that J.J. Abrams is producing. First of all, this is not exactly new news because we heard this before. If you remember, we actually heard that J.J. Abrams was looking to do a new Superman reboot of maybe a few years ago, right? And we just never heard anything after that. And there was this big push to keep Henry Cavill as the current Superman. But yeah, so we gotta first of all, let's get one thing straight for our viewers and audience that don't know. Ta-Nehisi Coates is he's an author. He's a black author, black journalist. I believe he went to Howard University, and I think he went to Howard with Chadwick Boseman too. I think they were good friends. And but he has wrote a lot of books, and he wrote a lot of books about he focuses more stuff on the black community, and he's really known for his book. I think it's called Between the World and Me. It's like a story, a little small biography about him and his father, and his father's relationship. And I think he wrote a book also about Obama too. But he's a very accomplished black author, and as you know, as we found out, he's been brought on to write a new Superman movie because apparently Warner Bros. Is rebooting Superman, or what they're saying a soft reboot, and it sounds like they're doing it in the same vein as this new Batman film that Robert Pattinson is going to be in, the Batman. There's a lot of mixed views on this. I have mixed views. I know EJ, you have mixed views, right? Like, we'll hear yours in a minute, but the current main feelings on it is everyone wants to see a continuation of the current Superman, Henry Cavill, because a lot of people don't feel like he got his just due. His second movie was Batman versus Superman, and that was critically panned. We never really got to see a true Superman sequel, and now he's already, being pushed out the window. A lot of people are also, of course, the racists and all the other people who don't want to see a black Superman are going to come out. But I'm also hearing rumors that it won't even be a black Superman in the way we think it's going to be. It's not going to be a black Clark Kent. It's going to be actually another character. I believe his name is Val-El, and he's actually a black Superman. He's actually a Kryptonian, in the same vein as Clark Kent, Kal-El, and Kara-El, Supergirl, who also escaped Krypton, and he takes up the mantle of Superman, but he's not Clark Kent. So there's rumors that that is the Superman that Ta-Nehisi Coates is going to be writing about. So if that's what they're going to be doing, then that's understandable. But still, is it too soon for a brand new Superman? And it kind of seems like Warner Bros. Don't know where they want to go with their DCEU. It's just going to further confuse things because, of course, they're still working on a Flash movie, and the Flash movie is still a part of the DCEU with the current slate of heroes with Cyborg, Ben Affleck Superman, and Henry Cavill Superman, and Wonder Woman. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It sounds like it's too soon for all this to be done. What y'all think?
To me, they're just doing stuff just out of order. Like, why are we doing all this? Like, it'd be cool to see a adaptation of a black Superman or something like that. I wouldn't mind that. But my whole thing is like, dude, we got a Superman TV show. We got a Superman on the big screen. Why do we have so many different Supermans right now? Why can't we just have one?
I think Riley basically said it best, like at the beginning, like there's no need for all the Superman that we have at the moment. Like, I understand the one on TV and the one in movies because you're kind of just distinct two different universes and say like, okay, well, the multiverse has the CW characters and this other universe has the characters that we know with, all the characters with Batman and Superman that we see on the big screen. So I get that they're trying to distinguish those two from themselves. But what I don't understand is like what they're doing with every character, basically every big character. It seems like there's two Batmans, there's two Jokers. Like let's just get back to one timeline. Just do one universe first and perfect that before you start doing offshoots of the multiverse. Like, I understand what they're trying to do. Go ahead, Riley.
That's another thing, like you said, like why is there two Jokers? Why can't we just like? Oh, it's just so frustrating the way they're doing things right now.
I get the fact that they're trying to do a multiverse, and I understand the storyline with the Flash and him going back and resetting everything. Like, I watched all those movies, I read the comics. Like, I get that. The thing for DC is it's too early for y'all for that. Marvel can do that because they have 15 years of established characters, and they've given us 3 phases basically of movies that we can understand and get close to these characters. And we see characters grow, we see characters die. Like, we see everything that's going on with them, and so they've gotten to a point to where certain characters are transitioning out of the Marvel universe. Some people are getting too old and they're having to recast, and so they're trying to bring in the multiverse now to kind of set things right and set the balance. Also, they're working with Spider-Man, who's basically a part of Sony and Marvel. So they're trying to figure out a way to bring characters in from that universe into the Marvel universe. So Marvel has the ability, and they've earned the right to do that. For DC, you've given us 3 or 4 movies, and now you're trying to talk about there's a multiverse. We don't need that. Your issue was you made Justice League way too soon. You gave us 3 movies basically, and then you threw Justice League on us. Never seen Green Lantern, never seen Martian Manhunter. You gave us Cyborg at the very end, and getting on him and how they've used him is a whole nother story. But you try to throw everything on us too quick. You go from Man of Steel, which in my opinion is an underrated movie and wasn't as bad as people thought it was. From that to Batman vs Superman, which that to me wasn't as bad either. I think it kind of ran a little bit long on time, but I didn't think that movie was that bad either. Mm-hmm. And then you basically don't give us any more Superman. You throw in Wonder Woman, which was a good movie, and then you give us Justice League. Like, we have no time to build character relationships with anybody in this universe. And now you're trying to do offshoots and give us 3 different versions of every character. DC is setting themselves up for failure. So as much as I would love to see a Black Superman, obviously, for the culture, that would be amazing. And if they do the movie, I'm going to go watch and support anyway, just for my boy and for JJ. So I'm definitely going to watch it. It's just, there's no need, in my opinion, right now for that until you give me another Henry Cavill Superman movie. It's been way overdue and over time for him not to get a sequel to Man of Steel. That's all I'm saying.
So I agree with you, EJ, and I'd love to go watch a new Superman movie. The only thing I'd ask for is for Goku to be in it.
What?
No comment.
I would say this too. I was looking up Ta-Nehisi Coates' his resume when it came to writing, because I couldn't recall at the time and moment him writing comics, but because I did remember, but I wasn't really sure. But yes, he has written comics. He's written for Black Panther. Yeah, he did. He wrote for Black Panther. Yep, and he did Captain America, Avengers, and some other stuff. So he has some access to that fiction. He knows what he's doing when it comes to fiction, obviously. So it's not like we're arguing or we're trying to say that he, and we're not pointing fingers at him. We're just, pointing fingers at the fact that, hey, Warner Bros., brother, we really don't need another Superman right now because you haven't established the one that we have now. So it's not like he can't come in and write a good Superman movie. We have a Superman right now that you guys did not flesh out, and it seems like you're just giving up on him. And if that's the way you're gonna make movies, and that's the way you're gonna produce stuff, you might as well not do it, because if you come out and do the same thing with this one,
everybody's gonna hate you for it.
For sure.
Yep.
So,
yep.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if this is their way, because they're describing this as a soft reboot. I would not be surprised if this is their way of course, okay, well, look, we want to start over, but we don't want to do the we don't want to just come out and tell the fans we're starting over, so we're going to call it a soft reboot. It sounds like they're starting over. They just don't want to let us know. You guys are starting a whole new Batman film. You recast everybody in that. It looks good, to be honest. Y'all know I'm a sucker for Batman stuff. But
whole new joke out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But Ben Affleck was better than people give him credit for. I want to see more of Ben Affleck as Batman.
Oh, Batfleck was amazing. I love Batfleck.
He was very good. He was very good. And
he's a good dark superhero. That's another thing. We need more rated R Marvel movies, because I want to see some of the real stuff that actually happens in Marvel.
I don't know. I disagree with that. I don't think we need any of that. I think we got that with the Punisher, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones and Daredevil. And we definitely get that with Deadpool. I feel like the way Marvel the Marvel has been doing the MCU is perfect. It's not too kiddish. It's family friendly. Everybody can pick up and watch it. I'm gonna tell you, I never had a prouder moment than being at the movie theaters, and after Infinity War, a lady coming there asking, a grown woman who brought her kids to see Infinity War, coming up to me asking me, did Spider-Man really die? She really cared. She really wanted to know, and I know she didn't grow up. She probably didn't read the comics, and she's probably catching on and getting on because of the popularity of the films. So to me, I think it's just right where it is. It's still entertaining without having to be rated R. We still get great action. They drop curse words every now and then. I think it's perfect. I think MCU.
I just want more rated R stuff. Now, I'm not saying like, change the way they're doing things, but give me like a rated R Thor thing where Thor goes and does some of the crazy stuff he does in the comics, or give me a rated R Peter Parker situation where Peter actually is doing some of the like real mind bendy stuff that he does in the comics.
I think I have to go with Jay on this one. I think Marvel is better suited to be PG-13, almost R, but not all the way. I think the only characters that should be rated R is what Jay already said, which would be Deadpool, Punisher, and maybe Daredevil. I think those three could possibly be rated R movies that you could plug in somewhere else. You can get away with too much with Spider-Man and some of the other characters to do movies that are close to rated R, but not necessarily rated R in Spider-Man. So I don't think you have to do that. I think that if you're going to start doing rated R superhero movies, DC is more set up for rated R superhero movies than anybody. Like, their characters be killing everybody like left and right. They don't give a damn. Like, they honestly don't. You saw what happened in Batman vs Superman. You saw what Batman was doing. And Superman,
he's not supposed to be killing people.
Right. He's not supposed to be. But you can make an R-rated movie without Batman killing anybody. But just like the stuff that's going on, and how dark it is and stuff that's going on, like you could do that.
Kill people. Yeah.
Villains kill people, and then let's be real. Superman be doing laser beams out of his eyes. I know he killing people. So let's be real. Like the DC and Wonder Woman be chopping people's heads off with and stuff. Like, let's be honest. DC is set up for R-rated movies. Like, they have a mini multitude of characters who be killing people left and right. So besides, like you said, even if you take Batman out of it, there's a whole bunch of people that get killed people all the time. So I think if you're gonna do R-rated movies, DC is the way to go. Leave Marvel as the kid-friendly, but still friendly comic enterprise. So
exactly, and to just the top off what you said too. I always thought DC, even before the films and the MCU and all, I always thought DC was the more darker, the darker comic company than because you had Batman was dealing with some very serious stories. Batman was very serious stories. And
I completely agree with that. I just feel like sometimes I want some of the crazy stuff that happens in the comics to be shown on the big screen.
I will say
possibly Riley, a Wolverine movie. Possibly that could be
That
rated
would
R.
be amazing. That would be amazing.
it won't be. It won't be. I'll tell you why.
It won't be.
I'll tell you why it won't be, because they already, I don't know if y'all heard, but they announced that the new Blade will not be rated R, and I am disappointed in that.
Are you kidding?
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yes, they said Blade.
That is a
No.
rated R guy. Like, you can't not.
So yes,
Blade
I
is a
am.
Marvel hero that falls under that too. I agree. He should be rated R also.
Right, and I think that the only reason they won't be making him rated R, because I think they're probably gonna be adding him to the Avengers at some point. I think that's why. That's the only reason I can see.
Rightfully so. Yeah.
And that's why they will keep Deadpool rated R, because I don't think they could ever. Deadpool just would be a ridiculous addition to an Avengers lineup.
Yeah.
Deadpool could come in there. He'll be Captain American for like 3 days, or he'll
It's-
take over the Spidey suit.
If
He'll put on Spider-Man's suit.
If Deadpool comes into an Avengers movie, it is officially a Deadpool movie.
Oh no! It 100% is. I agree, but you do understand that's what Deadpool would do, right? If he was to go into the Avengers, he would just be taking over for Spidey one day. He's done that in the comics.
I wouldn't be surprised. But
I could see him maybe in the Avengers movie, like in Phase 5 or something. I could possibly see that.
I don't want to see Deadpool in the Avengers movie at all.
I mean, I feel you.
You
I'm
not
just
like
saying,
Deadpool?
I can see him doing it, but
I've never been a big fan of Deadpool because of his whole thing. And, I understand his whole breaking the fourth wall and
breaking
doing
the
this.
fourth wall. Yeah.
Yeah, but to me, when you're trying to tell like maybe some serious stories or whatever, it just doesn't work with him being in there. To me.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. You
so-
can't tell a serious story with Deadpool.
Right.
But that's the thing, is Deadpool's like the comic relief.
But exactly. No, but he's the extreme comic relief.
Extreme.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So if you put him in an Avengers movie, it's almost impossible not to have him be the focus. So that's why I just don't see it.
No, what you do is you have him sit down in a chair, you have him pull out a book, and he says, "Now I'm going to tell you the story of the Avengers and how I was there."
Maybe so.
I will say, if they're not going to do Blade like that, I know me and Jay talked about this on like maybe the first podcast we had together. They're coming out with a Static Shock movie, and I don't know if I read the comics, the original Static comics.
Yep.
But that shit was dark.
It was
so
dark. It was dark.
yeah, it's nothing
Even the
like
kids show. Even the kids.
I mean, the kids show was kind of dark at some points too, but I mean, it's nothing like the comic book. Comic books were super dark. I mean, you had like real gangs and people getting shot and grandmas getting shot in the corner. Like, it was super serious. So they're gonna do a movie rated R in the DC coming up next. I would love to see a rated R Static Shock movie.
Right.
They got to do him right, though. They got to do him right.
Yeah, I want to see a legit adaptation from the comic. I don't want to see Static Shock from Kids WB. That was a great show. That was a great show. Not saying it.
It was a great show. Yeah.
Yeah. But I want to, like you said, I want to see the real, because there was a lot of allegories to and just parallels to what's really going on in the hood and stuff like that. So that's what made Static great.
Exactly.
So yeah, I feel you.
Even though they were in North Dakota, and I don't know no hoods in North Dakota, but other than that,
exactly.
I don't know what they were thinking with that. I guess they had to find a new city, and they're just like, we're just gonna use North Dakota. But or I could be wrong. I've never been there, but let's. I know we're kind of running late, but let's move on to our anime series. And Riley, I'm gonna let you take over in a sec. From everybody who doesn't know, Riley is the special guest for this podcast tonight. He's a big anime fan. Riley put me on a couple anime shows and got me on Demon Slayers a little bit. So Riley's going to talk to us about some of the upcoming animes that are recently been released, and just talk about them a little bit. So Riley, go ahead, man. Take it away.
So like EJ was saying, we're going to talk about some animes that have been released in the last, I would say, 3 years. One of them is a little weird. It was released in 2020. It's called Gleipnir. For anyone that's looking to how to spell that, it's spelled GLEIPNIR.
I'll put I'll put it up in the video version. So
okay. Well, anyway, basically what this anime is all about is this alien crash lands on Earth. He basically loses all of his friends in this city. Some high school kids come around him. They find one of his friends, and he starts giving kids superpowers. That's kind of the best way to explain it without going into how weird it is. It has some dark elements to it, and it's probably pretty close to rated R, is what I would say. It's one of those that's probably not a big like, oh, first anime, but we should definitely. It's a good watch. It's all about the story on this one. Is what I really like it for, and it's kind of like a fighter story anime. Is the best way to explain it.
Sounds like Chronicle.
But
you explain it like when the four friends found that thing, that meteor, and all got powers.
Yes, it is actually similar to that, I would say, but probably a little bit more like anime focused.
Right.
But that's pretty much the thing about Gleipnir. I would say it's really good. It was released in April of 2020, I believe.
Okay.
So it's actually a pretty good anime. There's another one that is a must watch for anybody that's starting anime. This is definitely a must watch. This is something that everybody in the family can have fun watching. It's called Fire Force. It's basically after a apocalypse has happened on Earth, far into the future, Japan is still standing as a city that burns bright in the future or whatever, and they're firemen. Well, what the apocalypse was all about was where people turned into these fire demons. Basically, people would die and they turn into like demons that were fire, and they needed people to fight this, so they created the Fire Force, and it's like whole different divisions of where they fight this. And there's a whole little story of like where this fire is coming from, and what, is there like a god of the fire, or like what's happening in this world kind of situation. And like there's even like tiers of the powers that they can get to. Like some people in the world can actually get powers, they're born with it and stuff like that, kind of like quirks.
Okay.
But it's a must watch. I would say that everybody would enjoy this. It's a pretty good anime. I would suggest that everybody should watch. I wouldn't say it's up there with like what's one I'm not thinking of. I don't know if it's Demon Slayer level, because they got y'all kind of on Demon Slayer right now, but it's up there. It's definitely up there.
Fire, so I mean,
it's pretty good. It took me forever to get y'all to actually watch Demon Slayer. So
that's true. We had a lot of other stuff going on at that moment. So.
But so this one I cannot pronounce. Jay, you want to try to pronounce it?
Well, let me go back up to it. So this is Kakeguri. Kakeguri.
Okay. Kakeguri. So Kakeguri is an anime. It's something I just came across. Every now and then I'm trying to find things. Basically what this entire thing is about, and it's probably a little weird one too, because it does kind of get on that edge of like, why are you being so sexual sometimes? But it's actually a really good story. Basically, this kid's going to a high school, and the high school is all about gambling. So basically they always make these ridiculous bets, and like kids can become dogs, to where they're either called a mittens, which for the females, and then I forgot what a Toby or something. I forgot the dog's name for the boys.
Whoa.
What? What?
You said they call it what?
Toby or something like that, I think, right?
Okay.
Is Toby a bad name?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Is Toby actually a bad name?
You ever seen the movie Roots, Riley?
No, I haven't.
I didn't think you had, but Toby's not a great name in the black community. But anyway, continue.
Oh man, I'm about to die.
Pretty sure it's a Japanese word that I'm mispronouncing. Is what they call them in. Okay.
It's possible. I was making sure. You know what I'm saying?
Anyway, this one's a little over sexualized, I would say. There's some things about it that's kind of kind of iffy, but it actually has a really good story. Basically, this kid's going to the school. He's a dog. He can't get underneath this girl that basically won him in a bet. And all of a sudden, another student comes out of nowhere, and she's like the best gambler to ever live. And now he's like her lap dog, but he's following her around. And she basically gets him out of all the debt and stuff. And from there on, they continue their journey.
Well, wait. So now, when you further explain it, it's like EJ really has a point, because it sounds like some slave stuff. So
I'm just saying, we're calling spade a spade, as we real. So
yeah, watch this one with some it's not safe for work. Definitely watch that.
Oh no, it's definitely not safe for work. Definitely, that's why I said it was over sexualized. It is definitely not safe for work. But this one is actually available on Netflix. I actually forgot to do that on the other ones, Jay. But so this is available on Netflix. Fire Force. That I know of, it's available on Funimation, and I think Hulu has Fire Force. I'm pretty sure Hulu has Fire Force. Maybe not all the episodes, but I know Funimation definitely has it. And then Gleipnir, that I know of, Gleipnir is only on Funimation.
Here's the major question: is it all dubbed? Because I'm not watching sub nothing.
Everything we've talked about right here is dubbed. Gleipnir, whenever it first came out, was not dubbed, but it just recently came out with the dub.
Gotcha.
As of right now, I won't say this. As of right now, Gleipnir is up in question for a season 2. Fire Force is in the works of a season 3, I believe. And then
you still there? You look like you faded out. Hello?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Kakiguru,
yeah.
Kakiguru. That one, I'm not sure if it's going to have another season, but I haven't actually finished the whole thing just yet. I'm on like the last 2 episodes.
Gotcha.
But just because Netflix had it bad to where, like, when they first started putting anime on Netflix, they had like 30 animes on there. 29 of them were sub. One of them was sub. And I just wrote them off. I was just like, I'm not watching any more animes on Netflix because they don't know how to put a dub on there. So,
I agree with you. Netflix was really bad about that, but they've gotten better. I've started watching some of their stuff. This is one of the first ones on, I would say, on Netflix that I've really started watching. Recently, me and my little cousin, I'm trying to show him Naruto. So,
yeah, I'm trying to get my sister into Naruto too. So,
yeah, he just got to the Gar area where Gar starts showing up.
Ooh, y'all make me want to watch it all over again. Don't start talking about that.
Exactly.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But it's awesome to see someone else watch it though. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, man.
No, I feel you. It's like getting somebody to watch Dragon Ball Z for the first time.
Yeah, my little cousin. My little cousin's like, wait, we can't skip any of the intro or the outro. And I'm like, why? He's like, the music's so good.
Yeah, speaking of Dragon Ball Z, so Greg was in the store today because he bought a Switch too, and he was asking what game should he get. He picked up Jump Force, and I was why would you play Jump Force when you don't know anything about anime? You will know 0 characters in that game. But yeah, so
I would say this though.
Dragon Ball Z Fighters over Jump Force.
But wait. Jump Force is free on Game Pass. So
yeah, it is.
So if he wants to try it out, I hope did he buy it?
No,
okay.
I told him not to. I mean, what's the point? He don't know who Goku is. He don't know who any of those characters are.
True.
Greg is so weird. Like, he would be the person that would love anime, but he like just won't do it.
The things that I know. Okay, I'm let me calm down because I'm about to start talking crazy and calling him out his name. So let me calm down for a second. But the stuff that I know, for everybody who's listening to the podcast, Greg is my cousin. Known him since I was born. I know him in and out. The stuff that I know he would like, he just doesn't pick up. Like, and he'll end up looking at this 5 to 10 years later, and he'll come back to me. Oh my God, it's so good. Game of Thrones. Never watched while it was on. Came back after the last season. Oh my God, it's so good. Walking Dead. Didn't watch it when it first came on. 7 seasons in, he starts picking up. Oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever. I've told you to watch it when they first came out. Like, I tell him to watch stuff because I know that this stuff is in his alley.
Right.
It was so hard to get you to watch Game of Thrones too, EJ.
Okay,
it was because you were like, you were like, no, you were like, if Game of Thrones is anything like that game y'all told me to play.
Oh, like
Dragon Age?
Like Dragon Age? Okay, so here's the thing. I usually do not like medieval stuff at all. But in my defense, I watched that show, Riley, within the same month of you telling me to watch it. I didn't wait to, like Greg did, and wait 6 years down the line to say, okay, I'm gonna go back and watch it now. Like, I'll do stuff and I'll actually look at it, and if I like it, I like it. I actually liked that show and I watched it all. But Greg will watch stuff super late and then come back and say, oh my God, that's the greatest thing ever. So he'll probably start Dragon Ball Z in 2025, probably.
So there's one other thing I want to talk about is now, since y'all brought me on your show, you know, I got to advertise my thing.
Go ahead, do your plug.
Go ahead.
So
normally we charge $100 per spot, but we'll let you try.
See, since Jay is a co-writer and EJ's going to be a star.
This is true.
So just to let y'all know, I do a YouTube D&D actual play of Star Wars. It is Star Wars 5e. And I have a couple other friends of mine that basically play a D&D story, and it's set in the universe of Star Wars just right after Order 66. Me and Jay actually kind of wrote it together. I kind of came up with the idea, and I throw ideas off of Jay, and Jay tells me, no, that would ruin the story and stuff like that. He makes sure I don't go too crazy.
That's right, because if anyone knows, we all three of us, we love Star Wars, and
right, that's right.
And Ryan Johnson messed enough up for us, so we gotta get it right.
Jay, I was going to get Jay to play the role of spoiler alert, Mace Windu, because Mace Windu lives in this story, but he doesn't have a lot of time to be able to do that. So we're gonna have EJ star as Mace Windu,
which will be very interesting because I'm curious to hear. I'm curious to hear EJ's interpretation. I really want to see how this goes.
So just to let everybody know, Jay will not be listening to this. No one will be listening to it except for me and Riley and Rob. So,
but let me go ahead and post this for you, Jay, right here. But the actual name of the YouTube is Star Wars: The Dwindling Light. So Star Wars and then The Dwindling, which is DWINDLING, light.
You don't have to spell it. I got you.
We got it, Riley. We got
podcast. Y'all a podcast, bro.
No, I know, but I'll make sure everywhere I post it, they have it. So you'll be good. So yeah.
But
appreciate that, Riley.
Sure.
Getting into our last thing of the night, jump into it real quick. Pokemon has been a central game, a main game for a lot of people, especially millennials. It came out right when we were young. I think Pokemon came out when I was 8 or 9. I think I was in 4th grade when Pokemon came out. And I have literally been playing it. I played it all the way up until I went to college. Kind of got off of it for a while when I was busy in school, and then when I got out, went back and played the originals on like on my Mac. Played Yellow and Red and Blue and all that. So, you know, Pokemon has been one of the greatest games probably of our generation, honestly. And they continue to come out with games for like Game Boy Advance and now Nintendo Switch, but they were coming out with a game called Pokemon Legends. Jay, correct me if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Is it Arceus?
I think it could be pronounced Arceus, the way you said it, or Arceus. Pronouncing the actual the other sound. Let's see.
Okay. I think Jay and Riley probably know more of the lore of that than I do, but all I know was they got me when I heard of action RPG, open world. When I saw that, I was in, because I haven't seen a Pokemon game that's been open world yet. So I'm looking forward to it. What did y'all think when you heard the news the other day?
Well, I will say this, because for all the Pokemon fans come out, I think the current games are deemed open world. in a way, but this is like a true open world. We're not talking about like 5 cities on a map. And this is because if you play the Pokemon games, you actually got to go to each city in specific order according to the storyline or whatever. So it's not really open world. Open world, when we say open world, it's free. You make the choice wherever you want to go. So, and this is a new game of its kind set in the Pokemon world, which I'm very excited for. And it seems like EJ said, it's Pokemon Legends Arceus, and it looks like it's taking place before any of the mainline games. So we're gonna be playing with characters, I guess in an ancient time, I guess. But they even had I guess a prototype Pokeball, and the Pokeball looked like it had a piece of wood in it.
Wait, I thought it was a zipper.
I can't remember what the image was in my head. It looked like a piece of wood. I could be wrong, but it was weird looking for sure.
I thought the Pokeball looked like a zipper, and everybody was like blasting it for looking like a zipper. Or is that the other game that's coming out?
I don't know. I might have to take another look at it. If you're watching the video version, I have a picture up for it. But yeah, it looks very interesting. It does look like they're trying to take some insight from the Pokemon Go game on a mobile phone, where you don't really have to battle Pokemon anymore to capture them. It's like you can throw Pokeballs at them. It looks like you still have the choice to battle them, but it looks like you can just throw Pokeballs at them to try to catch them. So that's interesting. I never liked that feature, to be honest. I think you should beat the Pokemon up.
I bought Pikachu because I thought it was going to be like the original Pokemon games, and all you do is throw Pokeballs at them. I was like, oh my god, no.
Yeah, I think they do that because of Peter, whatever. Even though this is fiction and this animals.
They're not animals though. They're like Pokemon.
I mean, they're animals. To be honest, but
they're fictional animals.
Right. Tell Peter that
they're cartoon animals, right?
I bet if you wore a Pikachu themed fur coat, and it wasn't really fur, but it was fake Pikachu fur, they would drag you down. But
that would be extreme, but okay.
but it looks interesting though. It does look interesting, and I don't have a Switch, but it will be. I've been waiting for a game like this, and I've been waiting for. And I skipped over Sword and Shield because Pokemon has seemed to they keep repeating the same storyline. They keep repeating the same. What's the way I'm trying to say it? They keep the way the game is designed is the every game has it seems like it repeats the same design for every game. You go on this adventure.
You just do a remaster. It basically is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just like, but it's with new Pokemon every generation. Yep. And I got tired of that. I was like, okay, I'm wasting my money now. It's getting ridiculous. I want something new, and I want something more ambitious. And it looks like we're finally getting that. So I will be buying a Nintendo Switch now.
I'm happy because I already had a Switch and had nothing to play on it except for Zelda. So now I have this, so it's going to be great.
I will say, I bought a Switch today, in just to be ready for this game next year. I also bought Pokemon Sword today because I read some reviews and I heard that that's supposedly the best Pokemon game that's ever come out. So. Yes, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for this new game, and I hope that it'll be good.
You got to give me a review on Sword, EJ, because I've looked at some videos and I've been thinking about getting it, but man, ever since I bought Let's Go Pikachu, I was like burnt on it.
I would never buy anything called Let's Go Pikachu anything. Never.
I read the review without looking at gameplay, and I thought it was like, oh, it's just a remaster of the old games. Oh, that'll be great. I don't have to look at the old images or whatever. And then I realized like all you do is throw Pokeballs at things, and you're just like,
yeah.
That sounds lame.
Now that he says that, I remember that it was supposed to be a baby down version of the first Pokemon game, and it was catered to children. This new generation of children, trying to get them into Pokemon. So yeah, so I do remember that. I forgot all about that.
I screwed up.
You definitely screwed up, sir. You only get the games like Pearl and Diamond and Sword and Shield. You can't go for no Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee. Like, Riley, come on now.
Hey, man. I liked Pikachu, you know, it's cool, and I was like, all right, this will be fun, and I'm like, oh no, what did I do?
This is why you do your research before you make a purchase.
And since we're talking about this, Arceus,
Mhm.
this is apparently supposed to be during the time of the armored Pokemon, so
Right.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how that is. I don't know what that means, but
in the past, EJ, the Pokemon were used to basically fight wars, so they had actual like armor on them.
so what made the armor fall off?
No. Humans put armor on the Pokemon.
I guess it was supposed to be
I thought they had armor. Like I thought they were like born with armor on. I was like, oh, okay.
No. Humans would put armor on them. They were basically like mechs walking around.
Wasn't this like
Yeah,
Japanese themed armor or something?
Yes, it was Japanese themed armor.
Like
So they were
samurai?
like, basically, yeah, they were samurai.
Like samurai.
That's a better way. They were samurai walking around fighting each other.
Yeah.
Like Samurai Mitops and Samurai Squirtles and all that.
Yes, 100%. They had little helmets and everything.
That sounds kind of fire, actually. But okay.
And I'll say this too. So the game's called Pokemon Legends Arceus, and Arceus, for everybody that doesn't know and doesn't really follow Pokemon, like Arceus is supposed to be the Pokemon god. So that's why this one is gonna be really special. Because I guess we're gonna learn more about his character, because a lot of these special or legendary mythical Pokemon, we get them as like gifts and DLC or whatever, and they don't really, besides the Pokedex little very brief minor story about them, you don't know nothing about these particular Pokemon. But from playing the previous games, you do know that Arceus is considered the Pokemon god, and he's supposed to be the creator of the Pokemon universe and the creator of all Pokemon. So that's what's going to really make this one pretty interesting, because I'm curious to see how that plays out. So we'll see.
All right. Well, Riley, I appreciate you stopping by, dude. You're welcome anytime. Thanks for talking about those animes for us, and we'll get you back on the show soon.
Oh man, I can't wait to talk about other ones. I got another one ready that I really wanted to share. This one, it's one of the. I would say this one's one of my top 5, but hey, I can't let y'all know that. I got to get back on here. I got to be able to plug it in.
Oh, and before we go, started watching season 4 of Attack on Titan. Fire.
Oh.
That's what I got to say.
Oh.
Put the mic on that and let Jay go watch it. That's all I'm gonna say.
EJ, so good.
So good. So good.
Oh, you know what? Because you said that, Jay, if you ever say that on live again, I will fly over there and I will slap you.
Oh my God.
We
we don't have to do an in-depth show, just one whole podcast on Attack on Titan season 1 through 4, because it's too good of a show for people like Jay and everybody out there who's not giving it a chance because they see them weird characters and they're like, what are these nigga dudes doing walking around? You have to watch the show. You have to watch the show and listen to the story. If you watch the show, follow the story, you'll understand this is one of the best animes that's ever been made.
EJ, we should do, like, literally, let's do a 4-episode thing of where we watch the movie that's 2 hours long. We watch 20 minutes of it, talk for 20 minutes, and then watch 20 minutes of it, talk for 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
I'm down. Jay, you gotta get in on it though. You gotta get in on it. Hey, you gotta get in on it. We'll bring Riley back on as a guest and we'll go over it. We'll review
do a watch party. That's what y'all saying. Okay, we'll see.
It's basically a Attack on Titan
Movie.
podcast series. We're gonna do a whole series, a 4-episode series, that's talking about everything that's going on with Attack on Titan.
Oh no, wait. I forgot. Like Riley said, the Attack on Titan movie is supposed to kind of sum all the episodes up.
Yeah, it sums all the episodes up, so it wouldn't take as long. That's why I'm saying 4 parts. Actually, I did my math wrong. It's 5 parts. 20 times. Wait.
We got the
6
picture
parts.
though. We got the picture. So. Yeah.
That's actually 6 parts.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, appreciate everybody stopping in again. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe here on the E&J podcast. Go to the SHU Program and support our main podcast as well. Once again, thanks to our guest Riley, and you can visit his YouTube channel and watch his new series, Star Wars: The Dwindling Light, which is a D&D actual play on YouTube that Riley and his team have. Thanks again, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Peace.